All right, we are back with a different video, binding versus non-binding price floor. Now, the price floor could also be called price support. Okay. All right. Let's do a quick concept review. What is a price floor? So here are some facts. The price floor is binding and will impact the market when it is set above the equilibrium price. The price floor will result in a surplus where quantity supplied is greater than quantity demanded, and the price floor makes it illegal to trade below the floor. Okay, here is the associated graph right here. We see my demand curve sloping down, supply curve sloping up. The price floor in red is placed above the equilibrium. So P star here is my equilibrium price, right? And Q star is my equilibrium quantity. Okay, now the price floor is placed above the equilibrium price. That is the only time when this price floor will be binding. Okay, the binding price floor makes it illegal to trade under the floor. So illegal to trade under the floor, and it results in a surplus, right? Now, I have a question here that we will go through together, and you'll see how I'm working it. That way, when you're doing homework or answering questions on an exam, you know how to approach it. Now, I did some work to get us started and make this go quickly so the video is not too long. Let's look at the question. Okay, the USDA guarantees dairy producers that they will receive at least $1. Let me grab my pencil here. $1 per pound of butter they supply to the market. So below we have the current monthly demand and supply. So we will graph this demand, right? This is the demand and this is the supply. We'll graph them on prices and we'll get something that looks like this: demand, supply, price, quantity. Now, I'm going to do this here really quickly, but on the main page, I'll do it there too. Take a look at this quantity supplied and quantity demanded. Do you see where they are the same? I do. I see it right here, right? So right here, where price is 1.2 and quantity is 97. This is how you really want to be graphing these things. So you're not graphing every single point, because that is tiring. You do not want to waste your time doing that. So question 1A, what is the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity? Equilibrium price is $1.2 per pound. Equilibrium quantity is 97 million pounds. Okay. Now, the price support is $1. So if I put, or the price floor, remember I said price floor and price support are being used interchangeably here, right? So if I put in red a price floor down here and told you this was the floor, first of all, it will not be binding. Sure, it can be the floor all we want, but it will not be binding. Why will it not be binding? Well, we've made it illegal based on this floor of $1. We've made it illegal to trade under that floor of $1. So the price will just adjust back to equilibrium 1.2. So what has this floor of $1? What impact has it had on the market? No impact. Do you see what is happening here? So this is not placing the floor below the equilibrium. It's not a binding price floor. It is a price floor, but it's a non-binding one. All right. So let's go back to our, there, we can still see it. That's good. All right. So what I just did there was I did that 1.2 and that 97 million, and the price floor, when it was placed below the equilibrium price of 1.2, it was non-binding. All right, let me just get my pencil, put it in red, and put that non-binding price floor here. Now it's non-binding because of the position, right? Non-binding if non-binding if below, non-binding if below equilibrium price, right? Okay, so it doesn't. Okay, so our equilibrium price, let's do the questions. Our equilibrium price was 1.2, equilibrium quantity was 97 million. And what is the surplus? No surplus. There's no surplus here. No surplus here because when we have a non-binding price floor, the market adjusts back to equilibrium. Okay. You can pause the video and go over what I've said slowly and take notes. Okay, we'll move on. I have some notes here. Okay, does the price floor or price support of $1 have an impact on the market? No impact on the market. No impact on the market because a price floor below the equilibrium is non-binding. The market will adjust. The market will adjust back to the equilibrium. Okay, the market will adjust. Hopefully you can see my handwriting. The market will adjust back to the equilibrium. So this is a non-binding price floor. All right, there is a second example that makes us work a little bit more and think a little bit more. Let's take a look at that question. Suppose now that a decrease in the cost of feeding cows shifts the supply schedule to the right by 40 million pounds. C says fill in the new supply schedule. So this is the new supply schedule. Now I have it filled in for us, but how did I do this? The way you want to do this is, here is a formula for you. New supply will be equal to the initial supply plus, you guessed it, plus 40 million pounds. Plus 40 million pounds at every price. At every price. Okay, so we take our 65, we add 40, and we get 105. We take our 73, we add 40, we get 113. You see how that's going to go? So you do that summation until you fill in this entire column. Okay? Now, for some serious work in addition to what we have already done, given the new supply of butter, what is the monthly surplus created by the price support program? Okay, the way you want to do this one is graph the new supply and the initial demand and find their equilibrium point. All right, just looking at this very, very, very quickly, right? Your focus is right here. Your focus is here. This new supply and this initial demand, right? That's your focus. You're going to see where quantity supplied on the new supply column is equal to quantity demanded on the initial demand column. Okay, now it's right here. Now you're going to say, oh, but this is 109 and this is 105. Yes, true. So the price that will be there could be a little less than 0.80. right? A little less than 0.80, but that is our best shot right now. And just watch to see how I'm gonna graph it. So very quickly on this side, let's get a black pen. Very quickly on this side, I have my price, I have my quantity, I have my initial demand, let's say D0, and my new supply. My new supply, let's call that S new, right? S new. That's our new supply. And our equilibrium quantity and equilibrium price, something around 0.8 or 80 cents and something around 105, 109, right? That's okay. What we want right now is to go back to our main question. Our main question told us that the price support was $1. So hey, put $1 here. That $1, right? Is it a binding price floor? Yes, it is, because whatever our equilibrium is now, the 80 cents is less than $1, meaning the price support makes it illegal to trade under the floor. So, do you see how now we have a surplus that's been created here? We just need to figure out at $1. So at $1, quantity demanded is 103. And quantity supplied on the new supply curve is 121. It wasn't that bad, was it? Okay, let's go back to the main. All right, so just copying what I've done here and really doing that really quickly. We have our 80 cents and our 105, 109. I'm just going to write it like that. It's not super important right now to get that on the money. And we have our price floor of $1, which is binding. And here the quantity demanded is equal to 103. Quantity supplied is equal to 121. Great. So what is the surplus? The surplus will be your quantity supplied minus your quantity demanded. That's your 121 minus 103. Is that 18 million? Yes, it is. 18 million pounds. That's the surplus. Okay. So let's write some notes down here. Let's write some notes. What do we observe throughout this entire assignment? Right? Because I want you to remember this for an exam. Let's go back to the beginning. Our concept. This was the concept. A price floor. A price floor makes it illegal to trade below the floor. That's 1. Okay. 2. A price floor results in a surplus. And 3. The price floor is binding and will impact the market when it is set above the equilibrium price. And then you have this drawing, which you should master how to draw. Okay? All right. So then we come to this, we come to this first part where we have this question. Our price floor was $1, right? Was $1. And we were supposed to find the initial equilibrium and apply that $1 and see where it falls and figure out if it is binding. And look at all the work we did. It's not binding. The market just readjusted back to equilibrium because the floor was put below the equilibrium price instead of above it. And so when we have a different scenario where the supply curve shifts to the right because the cost of feeding cows is now less expensive, right? We see a different case where the new supply curve is intersecting the initial demand curve at a much lower price, and so that $1 price support is placed rightfully above the equilibrium of 80 cents, and thus binding, and so creates a surplus, and that is what we have uncovered. Do you see that? So our notes here, a binding price floor is positioned above the equilibrium and creates a surplus. Okay. All right. Go chew the card on that, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.